All right. Hey guys, so today I'm going to walk you guys through our Notion startup guide templates. So these are all the things that you'll get in our Notion startup guide, and I'm super excited to go through it with you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Starting off at the very top, I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a welcome and some links. So in case you guys need any additional help, we have our course. You can schedule a meeting with me. No problem there. Further on down, this is the meat and potatoes of it all, right? And so there's 6 main components. There's the furniture tracker, there's the messaging template, house manual, cleaning checklist. I created a whole database of short-term rental software that's available, and also a short-term rental property organization scheme. And so we'll go through these one by one. Starting off, let's jump into our furniture tracker. This is primarily used for, the easiest use case is when you're starting and launching your Airbnb. You can actually use this to kind of get all the key pieces in your Airbnb and organize them all. So this is one view of it. This is the table view. You can go to show all. There's also a status view and then a by room view. And we'll jump into all of those as well. Starting off in just this database view, you can see that I have all the pieces of furniture listed on the left. In the next column, you can see where the designated items are going to be. And then there's also a budget and a cost column as well. So you can put in the general budget. You can use the budgets that we have. And then a cost column, so you can actually type in how much you spent for each particular item. Scrolling on over, there's columns for the status of each item. So whether you've purchased or ordered them already and that they're received, where you purchased it from. So there are different options. You can always add more as you go along. The date that you purchased them, and then you have a place for image item and then a purchase link. So in case, things like replenishments, things that you can, things that can break, if you have the link right here, you can replace it just like that, right? And so let's go into a couple of the other views, because I think the other views are a little bit more easy to use. So as far as status view, this is best when you are setting up the place. So you have a list of all the things that you need. You can drag them on over once you've purchased those items, and then once they're received, you can drag it on over as well. And so now you know that they're received and you're good to go. So that's the main reason for this view here. If I go into the by room view, you can actually organize all of your items based on which room that they go into. I separated electronics. I know that electronics aren't in a room specifically, but electronics I separated completely. But then we have kitchen, dining area, bathroom, master bedroom, and you can kind of see once you click in that we have the images here. We have that we purchased it from Amazon, and here's the link, and I can click the link and it'll take me right to that Amazon page. So I can, if I need to reorder it, it's right there. So this is the benefit of the furniture tracker. Now let's go into the messaging templates. Simple use case scenario. Setting up messaging templates has been really critical in our management of our business. So there's 2 different types of messages. There's automated messages, and then there's canned messages. Automated messages are things that you can set and kind of almost forget. They go out automatically based on time triggers. So for example, we have things that'll happen the day before check-in, the first morning after check-in, 3 hours before checkout, new booking requests, booking confirmations. So these are all automatic, and you can have them set and scheduled. And if you click into the messages, you can go ahead and literally copy and paste these message blocks into your whatever software that you're going to use, whether you're going to use the Airbnb scheduled messages or we use Smart B&B, and then kind of change these sets for, put the guest first name here, put the listing name here, put the listing city there, and listing type. And then there's a couple of those sections that you can get replaced here. So again, guest first name, guest listing name, check-in dates, guest number, the number of nights, things like that. So those are all automated messages. Canned messages are really best used for when you're answering questions. So kind of a shortcut to typing out the entire reply. So, do you accept pets? That's a canned response where basically you can say, based on each property, specifically you can say, hey, unfortunately we do not accept pets. I love animals myself, but these are the reasons that we don't accept it, and then add your name there. And so you can set these canned responses, so anytime these questions arise, all you have to do is click the canned message and it'll automatically populate it for you here, so that way you can kind of avoid typing this entire thing, right? So that's the beauty of the automated messages and the canned messages, and you have a list of 28 messages here that you can basically put into your system and put into your workflow process to kind of ease the messaging conversations a little bit more and really open up your time frame, because messaging really is kind of the time-consuming portion of the management portion. Next, we got house manuals. Going into house manuals, I have two separate versions of house manuals, and there's a couple different softwares that do house manuals as well. I just wanted to provide you guys with two different versions of house manuals. How you can use them is really just duplicate each one. So you can go through the Google slideshow template or the Notion version, and there's pros and cons. So Google looks great, and it's easily printable. It's a printable version. The con is you can't really make it clickable per se, and it's not as adjustable, or you can make it and design it as clean as you want, but there are little cons there. And then Notion I particularly like because I think it's a cleaner, easier to use platform if you're sending it just as a link. However, it doesn't work well being printed. So I'll kind of show you what the Notion house manual looks like. So it has the check-in information, Wi-Fi, smart door locks. You have some get comfortable kind of messages there, reviewing some of the house rules, what's nearby. You can actually put in links to your favorite restaurants nearby. You can put in links to things to do nearby. If you have trash collection days, and then a little bit of a checklist for checking out. And then also you can kind of rebrand yourself here at the bottom for their house manual based on your brand specifically. And the Google version kind of goes through some of the same parameters, just in a Google Doc format, or a Google slideshow format more specifically. So that's the house manuals there. And then cleaning checklist, it's a simple checklist. It's just to kind of get you started. This is kind of a basic checklist for any property. And so you can kind of copy through all of these, and then add some more as you go with your property specifications, right? If your property has more specific things that need to be done, add those to your checklist. But this is kind of get you started. So that's a simple little checklist there. This short-term rental software list, this is huge. This is literally every short-term rental software that I was able to find online. This is a gallery view of it if you click into it. And it's just literally an aggregation of every software out there. And I kind of categorize them to what they do. So in an easier view format, you can actually click through all of these toggles, and based on what you're looking for at the time, let's say market research tools, open that toggle up and it'll filter for just market research tools, so you can kind of just see all the available market research tools out there as well. I put a diamond next to each one of the softwares that we use specifically in our business, so you have a good gauge and idea of what's out there and what we use specifically. So you can actually just jump through all of these based on which software you're trying to help with your business. So I think this is going to be really helpful for anybody jumping in here and wanting to use software and technology as a part of their business. And then lastly, and not by least by any means, I think this saves me the most amount of time, especially if you're trying to relay some information and trying to get some quick information. So if I go into this short-term rental properties database, this is just a database, and this is kind of the filtered view of that database, which I'll jump back into here in a little bit, but let's jump into this database. So you can actually put each one of your properties into this database here, just to kind of help organize your life here in each one of these properties. So this is, let's say, 123 3rd Street. We can put the Wi-Fi name, the thermostat login if you guys have like a Nest or Ecobee thermostat, property access, so if this one has a gate code, door login information, general basics about the property, how many people does it accommodate, bedrooms and bathrooms. And so we start this property list based on even just the leads that we get. So once we get a lead, we can put in all this information for starters, and then once we win the contract over, we can start inputting the rest of these contact information, the owner information, trash days, address, and any contractors related to this property, or any people related to this property as well. The cool thing is you can make a copy of the furniture tracker checklist and input that into here for each property. So then that way you would have a furniture tracker for 123 3rd Street, and then you can have a separate furniture tracker for, you know, any of your other properties as well. And so going back to the quick view, basically what we did was we took the filtered views of that information, and let's say, so this is coming from the STR database, properties database, and we're showing you the quick information. So if you wanted just the house manual links and the Wi-Fi codes for each property, all you got to do is click the toggle, and it shows you just those 2 pieces of information. If you're trying to find the contact information, cool. It shows you just that information right there. And then and if you're trying to look for service providers for each one, you can go into each one and just click the service providers there. So it's just a quick way to access that information based on this bigger property data list. So this is everything that we're throwing into the Notion template. I hope that was a quick and, you know, that was kind of like a quick and dirty overview. And we'll definitely go through more training on how to maximize and optimize your flow and how to use this the best way possible. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and hopefully this was helpful. Take care, guys.